Me. Fuck, Facebook still isn't working. Me. Fa. So latido. All right, cool. Really don't know what is up with... Oh, Facebook's working now. Okay. That is so interesting. Apparently just takes fucking forever. Forever. Okay, so... Let's see. That is in the clear. D. Carvajal, welcome. A million hits. Immortal Lucretia, how are you? Okay, so we're making some progress here. Let me copy the Facebook chat. Where's the chat? Pop out. Right. Take this. Docs. Apply. Aha. That's annoying. That is quite annoying. Let's try this again. Um, One of these days, people, I'm gonna get this shit right. Morello Carmen, welcome. But it is not this day. Oh, I got a notification. Because this will let me log in and see the Facebook chat. Assuming that there is any. Come on. Boy, I hope I'm not going to have to do that every single time. That's going to be fucking annoying. Okay. Okay, that did not help. Pop out chat. Maybe I just have to do this manually. Let's see if we can do that. Remember, I did this before. It was not this difficult. Well, in theory, I'll still be able to see this, right? And see the Facebook chat. It was not like this last time. Boy, that's annoying. This one might just not work for now. Okay, so we're going to try one more thing. So what if we delete you? Ah! It works! It's alive! Okay. Now, dare we try to also get... Should we also try Instagram chat? Methinks we should. Right, because this is working on YouTube. Working on Facebook. Excellent. Everything is coming up, Millhouse. Now, how are we going to get you, Instagram? No, I didn't want to do that. I ended the Instagram live. Oh, no, I have to start all over. That's okay. We're not going to freak out. We're not going to freak out. We're not going to crash out. We're not going to crash out, people. Instagram. Do I like turtles? I actually swam with sea turtles in the Galapagos. Bet you didn't see that coming, did you, Rai Rai? Yeah, turtles are pretty cool. Okay, let's do this. It's fine, let's do this. Did I copy the wrong key? Aha! Okay, hands off. Let's go, Rai Rai. Let's go swim with the fucking turtles, man. Let's go swim with them. You got me talking like Alex Jones. I want to go swim with the turtles. Well, that sucks. Okay. All right, moving on. I don't got time for this shit. Where are we? You're here. This needs to be here. Ha 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 ha. Okay, okay. Listen up. Listen up, liberals. Need to close that. Need to go to this. And then here it is. We'll go here. We'll go here. Okay. People, we are almost up and running. Jose Alvarado, welcome. How are you, good sir? I believe this is your first time chatting. Welcome to my domain. Okay. So, oh, this is my profile. So there was a big story about the guy who burned down the warehouse. I think it's actually in Oxnard, not too far from here, if I remember correct. This is the footage from it.
Please pay us enough not to do this. You know, if you're not going to pay us enough to live or afford to live, at least pay us enough not to do this. All you had to do was pay us enough to live.
Damn.
All you had to do was pay us enough to live. There goes your inventory.
He's still in there. There goes your inventory. Holy shit, dude. I probably sound like a, like... That's fucking huge! Ontario. Holy shit, that's not far at all.
Please pay us enough not.
Wow. That's insane. I did not see this footage before watching this. That's a lot.
And we have new developments this morning in this massive warehouse fire that started yesterday in Ontario.
Wow.
It's a story Today in LA has been on top of since it started. And now new video has surfaced, apparently posted by the man accused of arson. NBC4's Lauren Coronado has been on this since the fire started. So, Lauren, the video is disturbing with what we see, but also what we hear.
Lynette, absolutely. The video, it's really shocking. You'll see it in just a little bit, but you talk about this massive warehouse fire, right? That happened Tuesday overnight. Well, right now, there are still items inside of the building on fire. You can see those active flames. If you live in the area, you'll see a lot of smoke still hovering right over the warehouse. Now, let's get to that video. Ontario police say they're using as part of the investigation.
You know, if you're not going to pay us enough to live or...
Look, this is not what you want to see. This is a sign of a failing society, because this is what happens when people have no other out to get justice. And that's what we're seeing over and over, and there's even more. A worker died in an Amazon warehouse in Oregon last week. For more than an hour, workers in the facility were instructed to continue working as the man lay dead. One worker wanted to help, and a manager told them to just turn around and not look. Let's get back to work, according to the Western Edge. So you wonder why people get pissed off and do shit like this? It's because the billionaires are literally killing us. They're literally killing us. You don't want people to do this, okay, then don't do this. But you'll notice, this gets you arrested, this gets you a fucking tax break. That's how the billionaires have set up this society around us. No, I have to subscribe. Oh, okay, no thanks. Sam was helping unload trucks when a heavy thud against concrete echoed across the Amazon warehouse. An employee's lifeless body lay on the floor. Jesus Christ. Work halted in the loading docks on the south side of Amazon's distribution center in Troutdale, Oregon. Sam and other employees stared at the person who'd collapsed just 20 feet away. Conveyor belts of packages continued to roll. I didn't have a direct line of sight into the person's face, but I saw a body form laying lifeless, Sam told the Western Edge. Employees who spoke for this story requested anonymity to protect their jobs, and their names have been changed. Hours before, a group of trainees on their second day at Amazon sat in a break room scrolling Kindles loaded with training materials about what is required of Amazon workers in order to expeditiously shuttle goods to people's homes across the Portland metro area. They learned how to safely lift packages, yada, yada, yada. Died Monday, April 6th on the second level of the Amazon. Machinery filled the cavernous loading dock with a dull hum. 911 calls obtained through a public records request. One employee called for an ambulance at 1:55. The dispatcher coached a confused employee over speakerphone on how to use a defibrillator. So these employees are not properly trained for first aid and defibrillators. I mean, I remember I've gotten training as a fucking hotel concierge. Meanwhile, during a second call, another employee described a horrific scene. We have an associate here I believe is probably dead. This person does have extensive blood coming from their head. He said they are very blue looking. Oh, man. So if they're blue looking, that's because they're not getting oxygen, I think. And then that could also be a sign of internal bleeding, you know, if they got bonked really good. For more than an hour, several employees said workers in the facility were instructed to continue fetching totes, picking items off shelves, and loading them onto trucks for delivery as the man lay dead. And management figured out their next steps. News of the fatality quickly spread through the building, but workers say top managers did not call operations to an immediate halt. A week later, several workers said they still do not know what caused the man to die. The man died from a pre-existing medical condition. Blood coming from his head. He was 46 years old. Just turn around and not look. Let's get back to work, Sam recalled the manager saying. Said a woman ran over and began performing chest compressions. Okay, so she's got the training. Began to cry and scream out for someone to help her. Sam, who has CPR training, asked for a supervisor. She could assist. The supervisor watched the woman heaving her weight into the man's chest and gave no response. I started sobbing and I said, I want to help, please. I know she's going to get tired and need to be subbed out, Sam told the Western Edge. Supervisor, who Sam perceived to be in shock, had a simple reply. It has to be management or safety team. Please get back to work. Jesus Christ. Turn around and not look. The supervisor softly nudged Sam, tears in the manager's eyes now, too. Please, supervisor said, encouraging Sam to keep sorting packages. Eventually, paramedics showed up in the section of the warehouse where the man lay was closed off. Why did it take them a fucking hour to get there? Are they out in the goddamn boonies? This is like outside of Portland, isn't it? Has left employees of the facility in shock and concerned about their own safety. Several workers said they found their boss's responses too callous. They seemed more concerned with keeping packages moving than with an employee dying in front of them. Struggled to sleep. Facility, the worst injury rate of 23 major distribution centers analyzed using data from the OSHA. In 2018, more than a quarter of all workers at that building, known as PDX9, had some type of injury on the job. In a statement, Amazon said it has worked to decrease its injury rates since the 2019 report. That's bullshit. Deaths at Amazon facilities have also drawn media attention in recent years in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Colorado. In 2024, OSHA concluded that a series of 3 deaths in New Jersey in the span of a month were not Amazon's fault, prompting a federal lawsuit against the U.S. Department of Labor. When that lawsuit settled in late 2025, it did not find Amazon at fault and was fully dismissed in February 26, according to federal court records. Again, so this is bad, but this isn't. This is not the first time, as this report covers, Amazon is a criminal enterprise run by Jeff fucking Bezos, who is as evil as they come. He is a horrible human being, and we should not have to breathe oxygen with him. He is terrible. He is a mass murderer. This happens over and over and over and over again. There was a facility somewhere in the Midwest that had a tornado touchdown outside of the facility, run through the facility, and they told people to keep going back inside, even though the tornado was clearly heading toward them, and they were not allowed to leave the warehouse, even though they could have evacuated to safety. This is just repeatedly happening. And again, this is all okay. No one's going to go to jail over this, but this guy's going to go to jail over this. Gosh, I wonder why people are so upset at everything that's happening right now. Warehouses burnt down, a Molotov thrown at Sam Altman's house, a politician's home shot at because they supported a data center. A spree of attacks on the ruling class appears to have begun. Every attacker will now be deemed a terrorist by our government and by the entire ruling class. That's inevitable. But the ruling class desperately doesn't want you to know is that they made this moment inevitable. Their greed has made so many people so destitute and so desperate that people across America resorting to lashing out was bound to happen. What the rich and powerful don't want is for you to look at the underlying causes of these acts. This is 100% correct. Again, this is never good. Mob violence always turns inward. It always attacks where it started from. But the simple fact is that this is a society that is failing. Because when you don't give people the democratic means to act, we keep seeing this where the people show up and they demand these data centers not be built, and because the politicians are getting bribed on the side and taking $50,000 Hermes bags worth of cash and tote bags and campaign checks, they do it anyways. This is a sign of a failed society, and this is only going to get worse if the ruling class does not actually turn around and make some changes here and some accommodations. Here we go again. FIFA has banned tailgating at many major World Cup venues. This news comes at the same time as notifications of 100 plus for return tickets from Penn Station for World Cup matches, $80 to $95 train tickets for Boston World Cup matches. New York City's Penn Station will also be entirely closed to commuters for hours around matches of the International Soccer Tournament. This is stupid. The whole point of having this infrastructure is so that we can use it for events like this. What are they also going to shut it down for the fucking baseball, for basketball, for football? It makes no sense to do this. And FIFA is now charging around $175 on average for parking spots at World Cup venues. How is this supposed to be affordable for, the average person? This is not what we are supposed to be having to deal with in this society. We're supposed to be the richest country in the world, and yet we can't even afford plus for return tickets from Penn Station for World Cup matches, $80 to $95 train tickets for Boston World Cup matches. Oh wait, this is how I do that. Penn Station will also be entirely closed to commuters for hours. There we go. Hang on, people. I have an idea. Could this work? Wait for it. There we go. It works! Except now I need to log in. But I think we can do this. Wait for it. Oh my God, did I do it? I did it! I did it! I'm now going to finally have all my chats in OBS Studio. All my chats. Oh man, I've been trying to figure this out for a while. Holy shit, I can't believe it. I did it! Yes! Fuck yeah, I'm so good! Okay. Where was I? Oh my god, did I do it? Uh-oh, except now I have that in the background. Shit! Okay.
I did it!
It's not gonna work. Fuck. I did it! I'm now gonna finally have all... So close yet so far. Anyway. So we keep seeing this, and this leads to this, which leads to this. What else are people upset about? Elon Musk's AI software Grok continues to generate sexualized images of people without their consent, despite his company's pledge months ago to halt abusive deepfakes after a public backlash and government investigation. So if you don't recall, Musk's Grok has been generating CSAM because just like Elon Musk, it is run and operated by a pedophile. No one's going to go to jail over this. No one's going to go to jail over sexualized images of women without their consent. No one's going to go to jail over the goddamn CSAM that keeps getting generated. None of these pedophiles that are on Twitter and all these other apps and programs are going to get arrested. But this guy will. This guy will, because in America, we value property over people. And again, what could people possibly be upset about? Wow, I just can't believe it. Prices keep going up and up. Wages do not. And yet we see the charts. You can see the charts where it's like wage growth for like the bottom 99%, and it's like this. Meanwhile, the top 1% goes like this. This is why people are so fucking upset. And of course, Eric Swalwell, right? Finally resigned. Plenty of allegations against him. Extremely credible. And now we have this.
My name is Lana Drews. In 2018, while I was living and working as a model in Beverly Hills, and I also owned a fashion software company, I had contact with Eric Swalwell on 3 separate occasions after meeting him socially.
God damn it.
He offered me connections to further my software company. And I also had an interest in local politics.
The top 1% goes like this.
He invited me to 2 public events. I knew he was married at the time and that his wife was pregnant. He was my friend. On the 3rd occasion, I believe he drugged my drink. I only had 1 glass of wine. We were supposed to go to a political event, and he said he needed to get paperwork from his hotel room. When I arrived at his hotel room, I was already incapacitated, and I couldn't move my arms or my body.
Jesus, you got roofie.
He raped me, and he choked me. And while he was choking me, I lost consciousness. And I thought I died.
Jesus.
I did not consent to any sexual activity. Although I did not undergo a rape kit at the time, I disclosed the assault to the people closest to me. I also recorded these events in my handwritten calendar. The assault and its impact were later documented during my therapy sessions at a sexual assault center in Connecticut. It had a profound impact on my mental health. I self-medicated in an unhealthy way. I did not want to live anymore. I cried all the time for years. At the time, I was in a dating relationship with a boyfriend I was fully committed to. I've never cheated in my life, and I would never have engaged in a consensual sexual encounter with Eric Swalwell. Name is
Hi, mate Parlov. Wow, that's heavy fucking shit. So I can open up a little bit here on stream. I'm reasonably certain I was roofied. Fortunately, my friend saw me acting weird and got me home safe. But it was actually a thing where I'm at a bar. It was New Year's Eve, and it looked like a couple drinks got passed out at the bar one time, and I think I must have grabbed the wrong. People are ordering like, yeah, one party is like two vodka Red Bulls, another party is like, yeah, 3 vodka Red Bulls, and then they all kind of pile them together, and it looked like somebody had them, was trying to bring them out, and then I grabbed one, and I started drinking, and I saw across the room, I just remember some guy kind of glaring at me, because I think he meant that drink for someone else, so fortunately, hopefully, that didn't happen to whomever his target was, but yeah, it's not a fun experience. You do not feel good the next day, and I don't remember a damn thing shortly after drinking that drink. So for that to happen to someone, I can't imagine the trauma that she must have gone through. And yet, is Swalwell going to have any kind of investigation over this? Is there going to be any kind of criminal investigation? Women have seen time and time again Trump can literally be on an island raping children and nothing comes of it. Not a thing. Not even a fucking paper trail form gets started when it's elites and the billionaires that are raping people. And I always, just something about Swalwell, just something about him never worked with me. I didn't like the guy, and looks like I had right call on that. But we're not going to see any justice for this. This woman's not going to get any justice for this. Sure, he dropped out for governor. Sure, he resigned from Congress. But is that justice? I don't know. I don't know. I think this is the question that the Me Too movement was also trying to grapple with. And frankly, based on what this woman describes, based on what he put her through, based on what these other women, not just her, that have described and have been through, I don't know if what's happened to Swalwell is enough. I think we need some criminal charges, and I don't think it's ever going to happen. Again, criminal charges for this, but not for this. Woman gets raped, no charges. Dude burns down toilet paper building? Well, we must take you to the gallows, sir. And now this is also why people are upset. According to 2 sources familiar with this situation, officials at the Pentagon were quietly given a new directive that came straight from the Trump White House. The message: ramp up your preparations for possible military operations against Cuba. Why? Why? Literally, what has Cuba done? Other than be south off of Florida by, 100, 200 miles? What has Cuba fucking done? This is just insane. Military operations against Cuba. They don't have nukes. I don't even know if they have ICB. I don't even think they have ICBMs. Do they even have much of a standing military? This is fucking batshit insane. Again, we're not giving people... This lady, who is a prop, by the way, she's a MAGA operative, but in theory, her story is plausible because... there's plenty of people that are having to work into their elder years while they take care of a family member that has cancer, which is what her little sob story was. And instead, we're sending money to Cuba. I mean, it's not money to Cuba, but money to our military to bomb Cuba. What? And then these are the people in charge. Oh my God, this guy. Greg Phillips, the high-ranking FEMA official who said he's teleported to a Waffle House, has a history of claiming supernatural encounters. Bruh, nothing supernatural about it. You were on shrooms. Just be honest. A dead girlfriend once lifted his car off the road to avoid a crash. Satan once spoke to him while he walked across Spain. Did he also give you some wine? Oh my God. After collapsing inside an Indianapolis Lowe's, he came to in a McDonald's parking lot across the street with 15,000 steps logged in his health app. He was that creep that you see in the McDonald's parking lot just, like, doing laps. Just doing laps and talking to himself. 15,000 steps. Yeah, that's why. A Big Mac in his lap and little understanding of what had just happened. Philip said of the incident, the whole space and time thing, continuum, got all, it fell with me. I just called Donald Trump to ask about the teleportation claim, who said, it sounds a little strange, but I don't know nothing about teleporting. Or him, but I'll find out about it right now. I love how he says he doesn't know anything about teleporting. Not that he doesn't know anything, which is, the proper grammar. I don't know nothing. I know nothing about teleporting or him. Honestly, it's kind of surprising that he didn't claim to be like the know-it-all god of teleporting. He's like, teleporting, yes, I know it well. I do it frequently. I'm able to teleport from the kitchen to the toilet very quickly, very quickly. You'll be surprised. That's why there's no poo-poo, not in my pants, not in my diapers. I always get it in the toilet because I can teleport between the two. Like Star Trek. Oh my God, he's a high-ranking FEMA official, and this is who we're relying to get, like, disaster aid. Oh my God, we are so fucked. And this again, polio, measles vaccinations, Republican states, Democratic states. This is child abuse. Measles and polio are horrible, debilitating diseases that absolutely can kill children. And this is what the Republicans have got. It's their own voters. They're doing this to their own voters. So then their voters get these kids that are going to get these horrible, terrible, debilitating diseases. Even if they survive, they're going to be crippled more or less for life. And then they're going to be on the welfare system because they're not going to be able to work. They're not going to be able to be a functioning member of society, and then they're probably going to end up on drugs, in jail, and it's just a downward spiral from there. That's what Trump is doing to his own voters. This is just insane. I've said it once. I've said it before. How can we cohabitate with people who are literal child killers? Literally, they support a child rapist pedophile in Donald Trump. How? How do you coexist with something like that? On the one hand, you want to have free health care, and on the other hand, you want to have free Ghislaine Maxwell. There is no overlap here. It's outrageous that a tiny number of absolutely revolting trash human beings can impose this upon tens of millions of people. A report published on Monday by the UN Development Program warned as many as 32.5 million people risk falling into poverty as a result of the triple shock of energy affordability and availability, food price increases, and economic downturns linked to the Iraq War. This used to be something that Americans were kind of insulated by just by simple geography, but not now. Not anymore. I made sure to bring the war home. The war home is now in Walmart. I mean, this is... Oh, this has me glad I bought, like, survivalist books, you know what I mean? And, like, doing all this extra training for how to survive on the wilderness, because we're getting to the point we're going to fucking need it. And this is what we also spend our money on. When we're not bombing Israel, when we're not helping Israel bomb Iran, we're not bombing Gaza, we're doing this. Arrest as many people that you touch as you want to, Gregor Bovino told Border Patrol officials and officers in 2025. But a review of hundreds of such arrests show that charges brought against protesters and bystanders repeatedly fell apart under scrutiny. Goes without saying, this is a feature, not a bug. By the time they throw out your case, you've been brutalized by cops, you spent hours or possibly days in jail, your family had to scrape together bail money, you missed work to go to court, you spent months terrified of months or years in jail. This is what we're spending our money on, is these Gestapo terrorist Nazis in our streets. And these people also, same thing, no justice here. But hey, the guy who burned down a toilet paper, we got him! Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. There will be absolutely no burning down of toilet paper during my administration. But we might shoot some unarmed protesters. Just saying. Give and take. This caught my eye because I think it's very accurate. When the basis of the entire U.S. economy is predicated on not prosecuting elite white-collar crime and elevating those at the top of the worst, but legitimize white-collar scams to positions of unlimited wealth and power, all that's left is for everyone else to try to do their own scams. I think another reason Americans feel bad about the economy, there is a constant barrage of information indicating to the casual observer that people who run scams and lie and refuse to play by the rules aren't just going unpunished, they're making way more money than you are as a result. Oh, man. That one stuck with me. This is culturally really dangerous. Functioning societies depend on most people mostly following the rules, even when they could probably get away with not doing so. That breaks down very fast once a critical mass decide that makes them saps and suckers. You know, we keep seeing this stuff. We keep seeing this stuff with Kalshi. We keep seeing this stuff, you know, going back to the PPP loans. And, I mean, the elites are just enriching themselves. Jared Kushner is taking bribes to get favorable deals that benefit him personally and his businesses and these other foreign governments and do not help America. But, hey, we got him, folks. No burning down toilet paper in this country. And then there's also this. Dozens of protesters led by Jewish Voice for Peace were arrested for protesting New York Senators Schumer and Gillibrand and asking for them to block sales of bombs to Israel. What are we supposed to do when we are supposed to have First Amendment rights to protest the way our government is acting? And this is what we get. Carried off like a fucking dog going to the pound. What is the point of not being bad? What is the point of supporting peace and justice? I grew up on Batman, okay? This is the kind of shit that, well, Batman would be beating up these people, but this is the kind of shit he would be supporting. He would be actively supporting ending war. Superman, that's the whole famous line. He said, people were going to die! And that was it. That was all that mattered to Superman. But then Lois and her paper wanted to throw in all these geopolitical references. It doesn't fucking matter to Superman. He was there to save lives, and that was it. And now, when these people are protesting to save lives, we get the very people, Schumer and Gillibrand, who have the power to stop that, who have the power to make change. They do this. We will sell bombs so we can decapitate babies, but don't you dare blow up toilet paper. Do you know how much value this has when the world ends? You have no idea what you're in for. You do not want to go back to using fucking leaves on your ass. That's how I got poison ivy up there. If you're going to treat our neighbors as disposable, the burn to a crisp, Robotaxi says, we're going to make you pay. Sarah Jaff writes that machine breaking as a tactic of rebellion is taking on renewed vitality. We've seen this happen several times, right? We had the protest, I think it was last year, where they burned a Waymo out here in L.A., and because we have no outlet. There is no outlet for these people. There is no democratic outlet. They can't, people say this, oh man, I just wish they'd protest. Yeah, and then we protest, and we get this. We get the shit kicked out of us. Where's that other one? And shot with fucking rubber bullets and pepper spray. Oh, well, you just need to vote. We do vote, and we get people like this. We get people that do the very thing that we vote them not to do. What else? How else are people supposed to take out their anger? This is not good, but if things don't get better, it's only going to get worse. That's the way it works. If Waymo gets its way, 2 million workers will be out of work. When Waymo gets a firm hold on a city, wages go down. Some drivers now have to work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week just to get by. This isn't inevitable, but big tech is spending millions to make you think it is. This is why I get so frustrated with people that I talk to that like Waymo, because this is what you're supporting. I don't even know how to break through to you. You're supporting billionaires getting richer. And by the way, this shit clogs up our roads. There's been multiple times where they've blocked emergency vehicles, and then there's no one driving the fucking things. Or then the remote pilots in the Philippines or whatever, they're on their lunch break over in the Philippines, or they're taking a shit, and they're not able to pilot these things and get them out of the traffic jam. And we also saw this during the fires. When there are so many of these fucking things on the road, they block, during the fires, those roads are small. There are only so many ways to get out of those communities, and it's blocked by this shit. Saw a comment like, this is why warehouses are being burnt down. And yeah, pretty much. I mean, again, you don't have to support these people doing this shit. Although I will say this, This guy, no one died. No one was even injured. This guy, in an act of vigilante domestic terrorism, whatever in the hell you want to label it as, showed more restraint and more thought than any of the fucking ICE pedophiles that are going around kidnapping people and shooting them in the head while they're trying to drive away. This guy, an untrained dude who's pissed off at society, had more common sense than these ICE terrorists who we're told are the good guys. Okay. Waymo only operates in the most profitable markets and currently loses $5 billion a year as it scales. So does its losses. It's in year 17 of losses like this and can afford it because it's Google and its long-term monopoly, then maximum extraction strategy. This is exactly correct. We saw it happen with Lyft. We saw it happen with Postmates. We saw it happen with a couple other industries and companies. Netflix is a great example of it, where the companies themselves are not profitable. They are far from profitable. But they are subsidized by these billionaires. They're subsidized by our taxpayer dollars, which go to pay losing businesses like this, which are not turning a profit, instead of, again, fucking healthcare. And we keep funding this shit. And then they get to take over these other companies. There's a very good example of Uber Eats, I think, took over Postmates it was. And then again, Netflix took over a bunch of other kind of studios and made some acquisitions, and it keeps happening over and over under industries too, and they're still not profitable. Twitter, Facebook bought Instagram, same thing. They were still not profitable, but they bought it, and because of all the subsidies and all the money backing it, they can get away with it. And then they pillage it, they destroy it, they burn it down, and they sell it for scrap, and they keep only the most minute parts of it, while everyone else is left to pick up the pieces.
Launch.
Much
The
like
driver.
this lady who was giving
Alejandra agreed to meet me
Why won't it
in a
pause?
Waymo.
Oh, that's weird. Who's bringing the McDonald's to Trump? This one right here. They would never let him do a media event like this if she wasn't a Trump voter. He's the only American president in modern history scared to be around Americans who didn't vote for him. I don't know about that, but...
It's fantastic. It's such an honor to meet you. And I think you voted for me.
I honestly thought he was going to say, it's such an honor for you to meet me.
You think?
Maybe.
Yeah. I heard you're a great supporter. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'll put this over here. And why don't we have a news conference with the president?
Okay.
Want to do it?
Sure.
You don't have to say too much. I think they're looking about hormones straight and various other things. Do you have any questions?
It's just insane, too.
Fantastic.
Like,
It's such an honor to meet you.
you know that she got pre-screened. They had to find the right person, the right demographic, whatever. And then they chose this lady, who's a plant, who's been well documented in MAGA circles for a while. She's recognizable. And then when he asked her kind of his big bragging point...
And I think you voted for me, do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Even her as a supporter, she can't cop up to it. Wow. God, if the elections were held today. Richest country in the world, and grandmother is delivering food to pay for her husband's cancer treatment. Her story is kind of sus here, in my opinion. Let's see if this covers it.
$11,000. You know, my tips were over half of my income from last year.
I mean,
So
that's a life changer.
But the thing is, if she, and this was covered earlier, is that if she is actually making only $11,000, she's not even paying taxes anyway. So the no tax on tip bill did absolutely nothing. Stay mad, liberals. You guys have nothing anymore. Like, your insults actually used to be kind of good. There'd be a little back and forth. But now you just sound like a little bitch.
yes, it is. It is. And when, you know, like I said, when you're dealing with someone that has gone through cancer and, you know, you love them, you don't want to lose them, so you do everything that you can, and, you know, you go through your life savings, but this no tax on...
So because she's a MAGA plant, like, everything she says is sus. You can't trust anything she's saying because MAGA are all liars and pedophile supporters. But the thing is, this story of hers is a very fucking common one. You know, I was mentioning that earlier. It's so fucking common. All this medical debt, people working until they can't walk anymore just because they need the extra income. And Trump's behind it. Trump is the reason your Medicaid was cut. Trump is the reason your Medicare was cut.
Tips and the help from DoorDash is life-changing.
Do you think this is the world's most famous DoorDash delivery?
Maybe.
Great question. Yeah. Don't ask about her dying husband and how much the healthcare has been a problem for her.
Delivered to anybody
Sure.
else that's been more.
But do you feel
high-profile.
famous
How was
now?
President Trump?
Very, very kind.
Do you like the Oval?
Oh, it was beautiful.
It's your first time meeting the president?
What are these questions?
First time in D.C.
Did you vote for him?
I have.
Look at that. You can see she's not comfortable with this question. She doesn't want to vote for him now, or she didn't vote for him last time. Look how uncomfortable she is.
Did you vote for him?
I have.
I mean, the pause, the loss of eye contact. It's sus.
Yep.
In the last election?
Well, I was actually moved, so
See?
I hadn't had a chance to change my voter registration. But
Called it.
You know, again,
So she didn't
this is
vote.
about no tax on tips, and that's really what I'm here for.
Where do you live now?
I leave tomorrow night.
No, where do you live?
Oh, I live in Arkansas.
Okay.
Final question for you. You've been very
So she's in Arkansas taking a delivery to DC for DoorDash? Isn't that like a long ass ways?
kind. Thank you. What do you think this policy, no tax on tips? We've heard so many stories of people getting thousands of dollars back that they weren't planning on. How is this changing the American economy, in your opinion?
Well, I believe that you know, with the no tax on tips,
Sorry, did I ask you that about that going through?
I do believe with the no tax on tips, you know, that it is.
Yeah, that's a long ass ways. So they like flew her out just to do this one delivery? This is so weird. I mean, depending on where in Arkansas, it's at least 900 miles. This shit is so weird, dude. So weird. I guess there's no supporters of his in DC. I don't fucking know, man. So here's the thing. We see some good stuff happening like this. Zohran Mamdani is fulfilling his campaign promise to open 5 city-run grocery stores across New York City. New York City Mayor told us the stores will offer staple goods at a reduced price, subsidized by the city. Contract a private vendor to run the stores will be required to pay workers union wages. La Marqueta in East Harlem, first opened as a public market by Mayor LaGuardia in 36. This is actually what our taxpayer dollars should be used for. We're getting subsidized goods, and the people that work in there are getting union wages. This is exactly what we need to be spending our money on rather than bombs for fucking kids. And again, a new report from the University of California shows that the state's decision to raise the minimum wage for fast food workers to $20 per hour didn't hurt jobs or raise prices much. Data from over 2,000 restaurants shows that the $20 per hour minimum wage didn't reduce employment, and prices only increased 1.5%. So a $4 burger would now be $4.06. At the same time, hundreds of thousands of workers got substantial raises, with the average wage registering at more than 10%. And the same thing was shown with the minimum wage laws in Seattle. Over and over and over again, we see that minimum wage is a boon for the local economies because guess what? You get more bang for your buck. You're putting money into people's pockets, and then those people can then go out and spend money on more goods. They can buy more cars. They can buy more TV. They can buy more food. They can buy more clothes. We are a consumer economy, so anytime you can do anything to put money directly into the pockets of people, guess what? It's going to make the economy grow. It's simple fucking math. And the billionaires in charge that want to punish this are the same ones causing us to have to do this because they're so fucking greedy. They won't do it on their own. They won't pay people a living wage. They're just going to hoard everything. Corporations want you to think they're raising prices because they have to. The truth is that they're also raising prices to the point where they now have the highest profit margins in history. Consumer sentiment hits all-time low. Meanwhile, corporate profits have just surged to an all-time high. Quite the juxtaposition. Yep. They keep saying, oh, we have to raise prices, oh this, oh that, and yet they're making more fucking money than they ever have before. It's all fucking bullshit. Since the U.S. bombed a school in Manab, killing over 170, children have been identified using parents' DNA and returned to them for burial. Heartbreaking story. This is what our taxpayer dollars is going for. This is what it's going for. How can you look at a story like this and say, you know what? I think killing children is better than having subsidized groceries. You're just a fucking cuck. I don't even know what else there is. I don't even know if there's a right term in the English language, but you're a fucking loser. This is not what we want to be spending money on. To kill children at a school when we could be doing this shit? Do you want affordable groceries or not? Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni says Italy is suspending its defense agreement with Israel as global protests mount over the U.S.-Israel war on Iran. We keep seeing it. There is really a sea change coming with the Israel-Iran stuff. It's just racking up win after win after win against Israel, and this is it. J Street/GBAO poll of 800 American Jews, 40%, including 66% of younger Jewish Democrats, say that an AIPAC endorsement makes them less likely to support that candidate. 66 oppose AIPAC spending in Dem primaries. So this has to be the majority, right? 52 strongly oppose. Orthodox and Republican Jews support the spending. 67% under 35 less likely to vote for them. Under 35. But what's the as a whole? Most Jewish Democrats over 64 years saying no difference. Either way, this is a huge sea change. This shit was unthinkable not even 2 years ago when we were seeing with Biden the horrible oppression and repression by the student protesters who were right the entire fucking time. The protesters were right. Put that on a fucking lunchbox because they were right, the politicians were wrong, and they lost the election because of it. Now this guy is just fucking weird. So I don't understand. I don't understand any of these right-wing guys' appeals. I saw this video of Clavicular going to like a jiu-jitsu school, getting absolutely fucking wrecked. Like I don't understand the appeal of these people.
Was born out of the incel community and movement. And do you identify with that group? How do you feel about being linked to that group of people?
Do I identify as an incel? I mean, how could you ask me that question as a follow-up after you asked me about my relationships to women? I mean, that's quite literally the worst sequence of questions I think I've ever heard.
What is up with his blinking so much? He's literally acting like someone is standing in front of his face like this. You know, and then he's like, why are you asking me questions? Where's the bright lights? Put away the shiny keys.
Well, let me rephrase it then. Looks maxing was obviously a term created by the incel community. How do you feel about being linked to that group?
I'm not linked to that group in any way.
His face looks so weird. I mean, I know that I look like this, but his face is weird. Because this is the dude that literally like smashed his face with a hammer, right? And it shows.
Maxing is self-improvement, right? So it's about potentially even...
He is like how older people look with Botox at his age. And isn't this guy that also like did so many steroids that he's now fucking impotent or something? Where is his muscles? You had all those roids that now your balls don't work, and you got matchstick arms?
Ascending out of that category. So that would be kind of one of the goals, is to disassociate from being an incel and overcome that.
He always looks like he's about to cry.
Doesn't make sense.
You also maintain, well, you've been seen with certain people who are from all parts of that world. I mean, just as an example, you've obviously shared company with Andrew Tate and other, dare I say, rather controversial figures.
Yeah, Andrew Tate's a pedophile.
Why do you spend time with people like that.
Are you trying to? I see you want to make this political.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm just curious.
No, that's what you want to do. Is
No.
you know you have
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I'm not.
You want to end
at all
it
doing that.
and talk about.
I'm just curious. No, not at all. I don't care about your politics. I know you're not political. You've said that repeatedly. I'm just, when you get seen with those people, obviously people make assumptions. I'm wondering what the thought process and motivation for you is behind.
Interview. I guess you watched the Piers interview.
I did, yeah.
Too bad I didn't have time to look into, anything about potentially, who your wife cheated with. But don't try to go down that line of questioning.
Who your wife cheated with? Is he talking about the reporter? Or is he talking about Piers?
With me, all right? Because I'm not doing any political.
I'm not married, Clive, but I was simply only asking because obviously you've been filming with these people.
I'm not married.
So I could teach you about looks maxing, then maybe you could switch that up. But thanks for the time. Appreciate the interview. All right. All right, got that done.
Again, all that steroids that he's fucking sackless, and this is the best he could do? He's talking about looks maxing?
Yes.
That is, these guys are just so weird. They have absolutely no social skills whatsoever. I mean, yeah, dude, you're hanging around with people whose entire careers are around being political assholes. And then you're shocked when you're asked about being associated with them and what those politics say about you? What is appealing about these guys? He looks like he's going to cry in every close-up. He looks like he just finished crying. He looks like he just watched The Land Before Time, and it's hitting him hard. I don't understand. These right-wing guys, they're just so lost. Anyways, here's a little bit of hope, a little bit of happiness to end on with Viktor Orban getting his ass kicked. Hungarians had some fun music. This kind of makes me think of Biden winning in 2020. And I'm like, oh, you naive folks. Oh, enjoy it while you can, because it doesn't last, especially because this new guy, Magyar, or however you pronounce his name, is kind of a centrist right-wing asshole. I mean, it doesn't take away from what he did. He did something amazing considering what he was up against with Orban, being 16 years in power, stacking everything in his favor, and now the pendulum has shifted so far that even Orban couldn't claim voter fraud because it was such a massive, massive L for Orban. This is truly incredible what this guy accomplished. I have my doubts on how much good he's going to do in power, but, that's for Hungarians to figure out. So, this is one of my favorite videos of all time. It's like the only AI shit that I like, because I believe this was originally AI for something else, and they repurposed it specifically for this audio dub.
Breaking news, everything is bad. It's just as terrible as you imagined, and probably worse. With more, we go to Tom Lee Cruz. Tom Lee.
We're all in danger, Dan Lee.
Jesus Christ, what can we do?
Absolutely nothing.
It was good knowing you, Tom Lee.
I can't say the same.
That was unnecessary. We're just now getting in reports that all the children have exploded. They will be missed. Let's check in with Olivia Lee Rodrigo. Olivia Lee, where are you?
That's none of your business. Do you hear that? Cut the music. Do you hear that?
What do you hear?
That's the sound of us slowly dying. Can you hear it?
I can hear it. It's louder in my left ear.
Olivia Lee Rodrigo reporting
I
from
actually
where
have some
I
more
am.
questions for you. Okay, we're going to go to Kevin Lee Costner, who has more with politics.
No, I don't.
Let's send it over to our senior correspondent, Nicki Minaj.
Look at this chart. Let's bring it up.
What am I looking at here?
I don't know, but it doesn't look good.
That looks bad.
Yeah, it's probably bad.
Let's go to our eye in the sky, Timothée Chalamet. Timothy.
Man, I am so high up right now.
You are in a helicopter.
I didn't know that when I got in. I thought it was a weird car.
What do you see up there?
Everything. It's too much. We were never supposed to see this. I need to go back down.
You stay right there. We're going to go to commercial.
Have you recently lost a child because they exploded? Because that's crazy. How are we all not talking about this? I feel like that really got glossed over real quick. That's a huge thing. Call Tedley. 555 call Tedley. I want to talk about this. Call Tedley now.
And we're back. Let's check in with Morgan Lee Freeman with sports. Morgan Lee.
I just want to take this sports time to say that whatever you hear about me in the next 24 hours is completely false. People are going to say things and have documents and recordings to back up what they say, and it's just not real. You should believe me and not their solid evidence. Knicks take it by 2.
This is when champions are born. We're going now to Frankly Sinatra with the weather, Frankly.
It's everywhere.
We won't be hearing from him anymore. Coming up, a cat learns how to water ski and then drowns.
Who comes up with these lines? A cat learns how to water ski and then drowns? Oh my god, it's so good. They have a couple others of these, but I think this is the best one they've ever done so far. Now I think I can try to fuck around and figure out what's wrong with my Instagram chat.
Not their solid evidence. Knicks take it by 2.
This is when champions are born. We're going now to Frankly Sinatra with the weather, Frankly.
It's everywhere.
We won't be hearing from him anymore. Coming up, a cat learns how to water ski and then drowns.
Who comes up with these lines? A cat learns how to water ski and then drowns? This isn't going to work, though, on that one. Docs. Yeah.